So, are we focused? I don't know. Hi, guys. So, yes. Yes. Are we feeling this? Because I'm feeling this, all right? Um, I'm really liking this. So, what do I want to start with? So, let's go ahead and start with the company's name. So, this is from Beard, and when I tell y'all, this is not your typical version here that I usually review. This is some of the best, no exaggeration, the best hair I reviewed. I will insert a picture because this is not the original texture of the hair. Yeah, this is not the original texture. Like, we still have some kinks and curls, but I definitely brushed it out. So look at this packaging. So this is what it was shipped in. The other side just has like my address and stuff, and it just is this golden pretty ass packaging. And as you can see, it's another sticker on there that says Vierge, and talks about 10% off the next order and stuff like that. And it gives their website and their Facebook, and I'm saying Vierge because it's Vierge, so I'm guessing Vierge. This hair can be way bigger, like if I brushed it out completely, but oh, I just brushed it out a little bit. Once I opened that package, and the golden one, and was this, and it's a drawstring satin bag, silky satin bag. You guys know I love these. Love these, especially the fact that they're satin and silky, because it's good for hair, especially human hair. Inside this, I believe I think the closure was in here separately. I'm not sure. It's 2 bags, so I know one has products in it that I'm gonna show you. Damn it, I meant to use the edge control. I used my normal edge control, and I meant to use the one that they sent, but in here was a front two, I believe, but we're just gonna go with that. A frontal. I believe it's 13 by 4. That's a typical frontal, but it did come ear to ear. I cut a little piece off, and yeah, I worked with another frontal, and I'm pretty comfortable with them. I'm gonna start to bleach them because I think that'll make it way more realistic. I didn't put concealer or anything. Let me go ahead and show you guys. Like, that is my scalp. That is the frontal. Like, bomb as fuck. I didn't have to do anything. I did pluck a little bit, do a little of the little baby hairs, but other than that, I didn't have to really do anything. And I had 224 bundles, 224 inch, and this is Brazilian kinky curly, or just Brazilian curly. Let me get that for you. So it says Brazilian curly, but I think this is more of a kinky curly. The frontal was 20 inches long, and I think that's a good quality because most closures and frontals are like 14, 16, maybe you might get an 18, but I never had a 20-inch closure or frontal. And I think when you're working with long curly hair, that to have a longer frontal is good because it'll be able to blend better. Like I said, a lot of companies do not offer that, so that's a plus. I had 2 24s and 2 22s. I did have an issue, not a big issue, but the 2 24s were great. They were wrapped, they were tied in this neon green. This was around the bundle. You guys know how that goes, and then a rubber band. But but my thing was, as you can see, the roots are straight, then it goes to curly. So that's always a con in my book, but it's not a deal breaker. I think this is gonna be really cute with a side part. I can't even do it, but I think it's gonna be real cute with a side part. I don't really do middle parts, which is why I did a middle part. But back into the closures, the 224s were great, besides the fact that the roots weren't kinky curly like the rest of the hair. The roots were a bit straight, and I think it might have been from this that was wrapped around it. But that was that. But the 222s, they had a smell, a different smell. And I'm like, but why, you know, the 24s are great. Why the 22s got smells? But it was a slight smell. And I was like, dang, you know, just not a, like I said, not a deal breaker. You can always co-wash. You can always do what you got to do to get the smell out. But I just was like, this is some bomb ass hair. All right. So just that. And, absolutely no tangling. And when I unraveled it, I wish I would have recorded the footage, but when I unraveled it, no tangling at all. Like, it just was silky. And for curly hair, that's awesome. Let me turn around so you guys can see the fullness of it. So it's really big. Like, it's big for me. But what I wanted to say, I said the no tangling, slight smell for 2 of the bundles. The wefts were really easy to work with, and I'm gonna mention something that they sent later on dealing with the wefts. What else did I want to mention? Oh, okay. So because I already have a curly wig and she's hanging right there by the shoes, a curly longer wig, I was like, let's do something different. And I do have a few synthetic wigs like this, like big afro curl wigs, and I'm like, well, I want to learn how to make one. Well, I want to try to make one on my own. You know, I haven't made a curly afro or whatever, so I was like, let's go ahead and do that. I cut a lot of it off. Literally, this bag is filled with hair that I cut. I initially didn't know the lengths I was getting. I don't believe I knew. I think it was just a surprise, and I was just like, I'm gonna go with the flow. But I decided to cut a lot off. I mean, you gotta take risks. Basically, you gotta try new stuff. Like, I know I do a lot of long curly big hair, so why not do something short? And I've been feeling the short thing, hence the pink bob. And yes, I'm still wearing that hair, but for the review sake, I have on this hair, of course. But I'm gonna rock the pink hair for another week or two. We're 7 minutes in. Let me go ahead and show you guys what else I received and wrap this video up. Like I said, this is a great company. I really have no cons besides a slight smell in the roots. That's really it. Like, I have no complaints. Also was I think this is the information card. Yeah, tells you how to take care of your hair. That was also sent in. And then they have this stuff right here, which is called Luxe Edges and stuff. I said Insta. I forgot what I was about to say. But this stuff right here, I think it smells great. It said firm edge control with coconut oil and shea butter, no parabens or alcohol, and it's clear. You guys know I use one that's like a yellowish golden tint, but this one is clear. And I didn't use it yet. I like the smell of it. My friend didn't like it. I'm like, I like it, but it's a really crisp scent. It's nothing too strong, like you can barely smell it. And they say the thicker the consistency, the better it's gonna hold your hair. And me having natural hair, hopefully I love this, okay, because a lot of people say use the Gorilla Snot, use this, use that, use blah blah blah, but you know, hopefully that works, like I was saying. The next thing that came in here was some Rock and Shine Argan Serum, and I believe this is just like basically an oil. Apply a dime size to the palm of your hand, spread between your palms, work product through slightly damp hair. So this is what it looks like, and I believe I will be using this like for my weekly treatments of curly hair. I think I'm gonna wear this hair next after the pink bob, but yeah, basically it seems to be just like an oil or something. Smells good. I'm gonna test the consistency. I can't open it. Okay. But it looks like that. Hopefully you guys can see. I think Yeah, I knew it. I was like, it's not coming out. It's a film on there, which is good. So let's try that again. Okay. So, yeah, it's like an oil. It's not really a smell. And works really good. Like, it rubs in really nicely and it's really soft. Like, I might use this as a hand oil. But yeah, slight smell. A good smell, but nothing too strong or overpowering. And the last thing in here is some weft sealer. Damn it, I almost dropped it. But the last thing I wanted to say about this, you guys, I showed you my curly hair routine when I apply and how I like detangle my curly wigs and maintain curly hair. So as I use the water and conditioner, I will also use this when I'm done. That's what I wanted to say. I be forgetting, y'all. Alright, so the last thing is this, and this is my first time ever getting any, and it's weft seal. I don't know if it focused. Okay, maybe it doesn't want to focus. There we go. But I went to my beauty supply store, and a lot of people who make wigs on YouTube and hair gurus, I guess, they talk about weft sealer, and I'm like, I've been to the beauty supply store. It was like $14, $15, and I was like, for a small jar, and I'm like, I don't really need it. But I feel like I'm gonna incorporate weft sealing into my wigs, for my customers, not for myself, you know, because I can always fix a track or something, but as far as for my customers and clients, they might not know how to sew and stuff like that. So I will use that to help your wigs, help to ensure that your wigs last longer. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and invest in some. I used this, I did use it, I did try it out. It's like reminds me of crazy glue. Like, it's not, it just comes out really watery, like not really watery, but you see how it's dripping, and but it gets sticky but not too sticky. I believe they said it's water based. Not sure. No, it's water resistant. And it's acetone, what is that? Oh look, I'm talking to myself like, what? Acetone resistance may vary per user. Okay, so this says do not use this to bond your wefts to your natural hair or scalp. Use in a well ventilated area. Do not inhale. It is extremely flammable. And I was kind of nervous to use it, and I was like, huh. But when I opened it, guys, smell is overpowering. So definitely make sure you're in a well ventilated area, because that smell was like boom in my face, and I'm like, okay, back up away from the weft sealer. But nonetheless, yeah, hopefully it works. You know, I'm not going to be able to tell you right now, oh, it's great, it works. Like, I have to wait until I do some wear, or till some wear and tear is done to this hair, and see how the hair is holding up, if the shedding is reduced and stuff like that. So yeah, that is it. The closure was easy to part. I did not bleach the knots, as I mentioned, and it was easy to pluck. Just I really love this hair. Like, this is my fall hair going into the fall. And this frontal was very successful, if I may say so myself. My first frontal was, I felt like it was just, I don't know, I just feel like it didn't lay flat enough for me. But this right here is bomb.com. This right here is just hair that I would have to cut or lay down or something. And yeah, so thank you guys for joining. I know this is a pretty long video, but if a company is worth it, if I feel like I have a lot to talk about or say about a company, yeah, the video is going to be a little bit longer. So let's go ahead and keep this down to 15 minutes. Thank you guys for joining.